Hello, my name is Wes Hayden, President and co-founder of CoachCare. In this video, we will talk about an objection we sometimes hear from providers looking to start RPM. They say, now is not a good time. Well, when a provider says this, usually what they mean is that starting RPM is just not their top priority at the moment. So we will talk about why starting your RPM program should be a top priority. Now, to frame this issue, I'd like to start by highlighting examples of healthcare organizations having success quickly ramping up profitable and impactful RPM programs. So here you can see that our client CoreLife, a fast-growing national physician group, they grew their remote patient monitoring program from zero to nearly $100,000 in monthly revenue with almost 500 patients. So if you're an organization like CoreLife, then every day you delay and don't get started, you are missing out on at least $100,000 of monthly revenue. Just remember that when you're prioritizing. And keep in mind, their program is also preventing emergency room and hospital visits for these patients by giving their providers the ongoing patient data to stop adverse events before they happen. So both the healthcare organization and the patients benefit. And here you can see the ramp up of our client, Dr. Verma, who's an independent primary care physician. So he grew his remote patient monitoring program from zero to over $20,000 in monthly revenue while positively impacting over 100 patients. And his program is continuing to grow today. And furthermore, here you can see how our client, the Hernweed Center, a large physician center of excellence, they grew their remote patient monitoring program from zero to over $17,000 in monthly revenue with nearly 100 patients. So I think the point is we've really seen this work well at all sizes. So you can take these revenue and patient numbers and we really extrapolate them for your patient population. And we've actually seen that many of our clients have the potential to literally double their revenue with RPM. Now, in addition to those numbers I shared, here are other examples of testimonials from clients highlighting the success of their RPM programs, both in terms of profit as well as patient impact, for different types of groups. And just as I mentioned, these examples, they span across organizations of all different sizes, specialties, and structures, from individual physicians to healthcare centers to large health systems and physician groups. So no matter the nature of your healthcare organization, we have successfully launched RPM programs for providers like you. Now, along with the financial benefits, RPM, it also has proven to improve outcomes. So here you can see data from a cohort of over 1,000 of our clients' patients with weight management and obesity diagnoses. And out of this cohort, patients using RPM services lost 86.3% more weight than patients that were not using RPM services. And also, RPM patients stayed on their programs 30.2% longer than non-RPM patients. So excellent results there. But you can also look at numerous credible research and industry publications highlighting the proven efficacy and growth in RPM. Because the usage and the utilization of RPM, it is expanding rapidly right now. In fact, it's estimated that 88% of healthcare organizations are currently or intend to invest in RPM technologies. So I think the point is we're still early in the growth of RPM tools, but the momentum and the demand is picking up. So now is really the time to get started. You really don't want to fall behind your peers in implementing this innovative and impactful service. So now that I've shown you all these examples of clients successfully ramping their RPM programs and the patient outcomes that come with RPM, let's get back to this concept of priorities. So think about it. What is your organization's top priority? Is it increasing profit? Well, if that is the case, then let me ask you, what else are you doing now that will double your revenue like RPM? Now, we showed you the case studies of all different size organizations having enormous success generating revenue and profit with RPM. So every day you delay, you lose out on that revenue. Is your top priority improving patient outcomes? Well, you saw the provider testimonials about how RPM has improved their patient outcomes and engagement. And you also saw our actual RPM patient data showing significantly improved outcomes. And I think that the idea here is that for the first time ever, RPM gives providers a window into the daily lives of their patients, the 99% of their lives that is outside the doctor's office. And this directly enables proactive intervention and engagement that prevents emergency room visits, hospital stays, and worsening conditions. So RPM, it is part of a once-in-a-generation shift toward remote healthcare. So what else are you doing now that will have such a positive impact on your patients' lives? So why should starting RPM be a top priority for your organization? Well, like I said, if your top priority is increasing profit or improving patient outcomes, RPM delivers on both of those objectives more than probably anything else you are doing in your organization today. There, I just said it. So don't miss out on this significant revenue and the better outcomes that come with RPM. Don't wait on that any longer. Remote care, it is the future of healthcare, and it is happening as we speak. So to get back to our original objection here, now is the good time to start your RPM program. So I hope this video has been helpful. And for those of you that are not familiar with us, over the past 7 years, Coach Care has worked with thousands of health systems, physician groups, and independent practices to support their virtual health and remote patient monitoring needs. So if you'd like to learn more, all you need to do is schedule a Q&A and tour of our technology. I'll answer all your questions about RPM, and together we'll calculate how much you can make by implementing RPM. And there's a link to book a call alongside this video. And thank you again for your time.